Hello, Assalamu alaikum. This is Mehrunessa Shapla welcoming you again. My dear students, how are you? I hope all of you are well and you are staying at home. I have already started taking classes with the students of HSC level, and in the last class, I delivered my lecture on voice, and I completed some rules of changing voice based on the structure of tenses. Today I will talk about some other rules of changing voice, and today I will show you how the active form of assertive sentences can be changed into passive form. So let's start the class. So dear students, let's start the class with the PowerPoint presentation. So welcome to my class. There is an introduction of myself as usual. In this slide, I'll show you the topic of today's class, that is voice, which is taken from your English second paper course. My dear students, I have told you that today I will talk about assertive sentence, the active form of assertive sentence, or how the active form of assertive sentence can be changed into passive form. So here I have written the passive form of assertive sentence, the structure of the passive form of assertive sentence, that is subject, then helping verb, which should be used according to the rules of tense or structure of tense, then past participle of the main verb, then preposition, and then object. In this slide, I will show you several sentences that are written according to the structure of different tenses. The first one is the example of simple present tense, that is, he teaches English. He teaches English. This is the sentence is very simple. The passive form of this voice is of this active voice is English is taught by him. English is the subject. English is the object of this sentence, and here in the passive form English has become the subject. And next, I have used the helping verb, then past participle of the main verb teach, and preposition by, and after that him is the objective form of he. So second sentence is simple past tense, that is, he taught English. English was taught by him. Same structure, but just was is used here. English was taught by him. Future indefinite, he will teach English. English will be taught by him. English will be taught by him. And then look at the continuous tenses. In the present continuous, I have written he is teaching English. English is being taught by him. English is being taught by him. Here I have used being because ing, this verb with ing cannot be changed into past participle form. So that is why I have detached ing from teach and added to be verb being. I have used being here, and then I could change teach into taught, that is the past participle form of teach. So English is being taught by him. In past continuous tense, I have written he was teaching English. English was being taught by him. Again, I have used being because ing is used here. And in the future continuous tense, he will be teaching English. English will be being taught by him. That means being, B-E-I-N-G, this being is always used in the continuous tenses in the passive form. So look at the perfect tenses. First one is present perfect. He has taught English. The passive form of this sentence is English has been taught by him. English has been taught by him. And the next one is past perfect, that is he taught English. English had been taught by him. And in future perfect tense, he will have taught English. English will have been taught by him. So look at this word been, B-E-E-N, been. So been is always used in the perfect tenses in the passive form. Okay. So in this slide, I will talk about some problematic assertive sentences. The first one is assertive sentence with quasi-passive verb. So what is a quasi-passive verb? Quasi-passive verb is a verb. Simply it is a verb, but it looks like, sometimes it looks like almost passive, but it is actually active. And another important thing is that it has always an adjective. It has always an adjective at the end of the sentence. For example, rice sells cheap. Rice cannot sell anything, because rice is not a person. Someone can sell rice, but the structure the structure or the meaning gives you the sense of passive form, but it is actually an active form. And the passive form of this sentence is rice is sold cheap. Cheap is an adjective. So what is the rule of the passive form of this sentence? That is, subject should be unchanged. That means rice should be the subject of the passive form again. So subject should be unchanged, then helping verb is used, and then past participle form of verb is used, and after that adjective is used at the end of the sentence. Another example is written here, that is, iron feels hard. So iron is the subject in the passive form again, iron, and after that is used, is an auxiliary verb or helping verb, and then felt is the past participle form of feel, and then hard is an adjective, and so hard is written at the end of the sentence. Okay. And number 2 is reflexive pronoun. Sometimes some sentences, some assertive sentences have reflexive pronoun like myself, himself, themselves. In that case, the rule should be like this. So again, subject should be unchanged when you will find reflexive pronoun in the assertive sentence. And then helping verb as participle from the main verb, preposition by, and reflexive pronoun should be written at the end of the sentence. So the ladies fan themselves. So the ladies is used as the subject of the passive form. Again, the ladies are fanned. Fanned is the past participle form of fan, by themselves. He helped himself. He was helped by himself. This rule is, I think, is very easy. And the third one is, sometimes you will find some assertive sentences with have to, has to, had to, is going to, was going to, ought to. These phrases should be sometimes these phrases are used in the assertive sentence, and in that case the rule of the passive voice is, or the structure of the passive voice is, subject. Here you can change the subject and object. Subject is taken from the object of the active voice, this basic rule. So subject, and after that you should write down all these phrases, and then be must be used, after these phrases, be, and after that you should write the past participle form of the main verb, then preposition, and after that you should write down the object. So this is the structure. So look at the example. He has to do the work. He has to is a phrase. So he has to do the work. Here the work is the object, so object should be the subject of the passive voice. The work has to is written again here. The work has to be is used. Be must be used in this type of sentence. The work has to be done. Done is the past participle form of this verb. So the work has to be done by him. He is going to build a house. Here is going to is a phrase. So is going to is written same in the passive voice. So a house is going to be must be used. Again I'm repeating that be must be used in this type of sentence. A house is going to be built by him. Okay, so the next rule is the assertive sentences with present participle. When you find present participle in assertive sentence, the structure should be like this: subject, then helping verb, then past participle form of the main verb, and present participle is used, and then impersonal object by personal object. So that means this type of sentence has two objects. One is personal object and another one is impersonal object. And keep in mind that personal object or the direct object always always is used as the subject of the passive voice. That is, look at the example, I saw him carrying a stick. I saw him. Him is personal object and a stick is impersonal object. That is why him should be used as the subject as of the passive voice. He is the subjective form of him. That is why he is used here. So he was seen, saw. This is simple past tense. That is why I have used was. He was seen, the past participle form of saw. He was seen carrying. Carrying should be written as it is written in the active voice. So he was seen carrying a stick by me. He was seen carrying a stick by me. I heard him saying this. I heard him saying this. Here him is personal object and this is impersonal object. That is why him should be the subjective form of him should be used as the subject of the passive form, that is he. He, as it is written in the simple past tense, that is why was is used. He was heard, past participle form of the main verb. He was heard. Saying is present participle, and then this, that is impersonal object. He was heard saying this by me. Okay. Now I'll talk about complex sentences. Complex sentences, have complex sentences have two or more clauses. One is principal clause and two or more subordinate clauses. In that case, if those clauses, both of the clauses, have objects, so both of the clauses should be changed into passive form. For example, I know that he did the work. These two clauses, are joined by that. So this part, this is the first part of the sentence, and this is the second part of the sentence. And both of this part, parts of the sentence, can be changed into passive form. That is, I know should be changed like this way. It is known to me. It is known to me. To is always used after know or known. It is known to me that he did the work. So here this part can be changed into passive form. The passive form, that is, the work was done by me. The work is used as the subject of this part. The work was, as it is written in the simple past. So the work was done, was participle form, by me. So it is known to me that the work was done by me. So two parts of these sentences, sentences are changed into passive form. But sometimes you will find some different sentence, different complex sentence, like we know that the earth is a planet. We know that the earth is a planet. This part can be changed into passive form, but this part cannot be changed because this part doesn't have any object here. If you make question with what or whom, you cannot get any answer. That is why this part of this part of the sentence cannot be changed into passive form. So we can change this part. So it is known to us. It is known to us that the earth is a planet. So go to the next slide. Okay, in this slide I'll show you some factitive verbs with and factitive objects. These elect, these verbs like elect, select, appoint, make, choose, deem, assign, name, judge, and designate. These are called factitive verbs, and factitive verbs have factitive objects. Factitive objects are called object complement. So object complement or factitive objects cannot be used as direct objects. So these objects cannot be used as the subject of the passive verb. Look at the example. We have designated him managing director. So here him is the direct object and managing director is object complement or the factitive object. So the direct object him should be used as the subject of the passive voice, that is he. Him, the subjective form of him is he. So look at the structure. First subject, then helping verb, past participle form of the main verb, then object complement, or you should write down the factitive object, then preposition, and you should write down the object, that is subject of the active voice. So the passive form of this sentence, we have designated him managing director is he has been. So here him, direct object him, the subjective form of him is he is used here. He has been, as it is written in the present perfect tense, so I have written has been. He has been designated, used as the past participle form of the main verb, designated object complement. What is here, what is the object complement? Managing director is the object complement of this sentence. So he has been designated managing director by us. That means we cannot use managing director or this factitive object or object complement as the as the subject of the passive form. Okay. In this slide, I'll show another rule, that is sometimes you will find determine, be determined, decide, suggest, demand, agree, arrange, be anxious, plus to infinitive used in active voice. So in the passive voice, the structure is subject of the active voice, subject of the active voice, that means subject should be unchanged, and then verb is written in the same form, that means verb cannot be changed. After that, that means instead of to, you must use that. Okay, you must use that, and after that you can change the second part of the sentence, that is he determined to sell the house. So he is used in the passive form, determined is used in the passive form, and instead of to, that is used. So he determined that sell the house. This part of the sentence must be changed into passive form. So that is why you must write should be. Okay, should be. After using should be, you can change the verb sell. So he determined that the house should be sold. The house, then should be, and the past participle form of the main verb sell is used. He decided to write a letter. So sell is used, to sell is the infinitive form. It is not the main verb, but this one can be changed into past participle form, but the main verb, that is determined, it cannot be changed. Okay, so he decided to write a letter. He decided that a letter should be written. Okay, sometimes you will find see, need, bid, dare, make, hear, feel, know, behold, was, this type of words used in active voice. So in that case, the structure of passive voice is subject, helping verb, past participle form of the main verb, then you should use to infinitive, that means to plus verb, and after using to infinitive, you can write preposition by and object. So I saw him go. Him is the object, so the subjective form of him, he is used as the subject of passive him is the object of this sentence. So this object, the subjective form of this object or him is he. So he is the subject of the passive voice. He was seen to go. That means after using past participle form of the main verb, you should write down to infinitive, to go. By me, he was seen to go by me. The next one is he made me understand. I was made to understand by him. That means I was made to understand by him. Okay, the next rule is group verbs. Group verbs like look for, run over, act for, call of, etc. are used in, sometimes these verbs are used in active voice. So in the passive form, you cannot separate it, the preposition from the verb. From the, that is look, that means I was looking for a pen. I was looking for a pen was being looked for by me. That means for is used before its verb in the passive voice again. I was looking for a pen was being looked for by me. The workers called off their strike. So their strike is the object, so their strike must become the subject of the passive voice. Their strike was called off. This group verb called off again is used as a group verb in the passive form. Their strike was called off by the workers. Okay, now dear students, I'll give you some homework, some sentences as your homework. That is, this slide. Please look at this slide very carefully. The farmer used water in the field. They love their motherland profoundly. We should control it. He did many things for me. We know that he made an excellent farmhouse. They elected him chairman. He killed himself. So these sentences are written according to the structures or rules that I have taught today. Okay, so my dear students, follow these rules, try to learn them and practice more and more, and please do these homework. In the next class, I will show you the rules of changing the active form of interrogative sentence and imperative sentences into passive form. So please do this homework and inbox me. I will check. So that is all for today. Thank you for being with me. Allah Hafiz.